Let's go straight down to Washington, D.C., where Walt Mossberg knows everything. The big W himself is going to weigh in on the Sony Tablet P. So big news, I guess, on Tim Tebow, but we're going to go to the Tablet P straight away.
Well, first, I have to make a football comment, which is that as a New England Patriots fan, and the Jets are a big rival of the Patriots, I'm going to have to think about whether this is good or bad. I don't know. But this, the Sony Tablet P, not so good.
Not so good. You asked the question in your column, are two screens better than one?
Right.
Are they?
Well, here's the thing. So this is it. It's, as you can see, small and portable, and you can't see any screen, but when you open it up, and unfortunately this one is not charged, but there are two screens, one small screen here and one small screen here. And some apps can run only in one of them. A lot of apps will run across both of them as if there is only one screen. But the problem is there's this big black hinge across the middle, and apps like web browser and Google Maps are like marred by this hinge in the middle. And that was the first strike against it in my mind.
It seemed like you had many strikes against it, although I have to say that it looks like a flask, sort of. I mean, are they trying to get away from the normal device mode? I mean, what's sort of the intention of this?
You mean a hip flask?
It looks like
whiskey,
it looks like a flask you would bring to a football game.
Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, Julia, I never like to say things are flops, or I don't predict sales. I've given bad reviews to things that have gone on and sold well, and vice versa. But you're quite right that what people are looking for, particularly in this tablet market where there's a dominant player, is ways to be different, ways to be innovative. And of course, Sony has long had a great reputation for industrial design. And they did bring out a tablet I gave a good review to last year, which had an interesting, unusual industrial design. This is just, I don't think it works, but clearly their idea was to say, hey, you can have a tablet with this kind of portability that you can put in your pocket, and yet you open it up, it's not as big as an iPad or even Sony's other tablet, but it's got about a total screen area of 7 inches, and there's a lot, and it runs all the Android apps. So I think that's what they were thinking, try to be different. But it's $550. From Sony without a phone contract, and AT&T selling it for $400 with a 2-year contract.
Wow, that is pretty expensive. And you said it's pretty slow and no battery life. I mean, I'm sorry, not very good battery life.
Right. It had about 5 hours or so of battery life in my test that I do, and that was, just coincidentally, the new iPad came out last night. I ran last week, and I ran the same test on that, and it's roughly half, just about half of what the iPad does. It comes with very little memory. You can expand it, but then you have to spend some more money. But it comes with less than 4 gigabytes of usable storage on it. And it runs 4G, but it does not run LTE, which, not to use too much jargon, but that's the really good, super fast kind of 4G. And a lot of devices are coming out with that, and this one doesn't have that.
And you also said the SIM card kept coming loose. I guess that's a bit
well,
of a
the cover. There's a cover here on the top.
Yeah.
You have to open to put the SIM card in, and I opened it, put the SIM card in, closed it, and it kept coming loose, which surprised me because Sony's, hardware quality is usually quite good. So I can't explain that.
That's surprising to me, given the general quality of Sony goods, and also the general design of Sony goods is often just exceptionally well thought out.
Well, also, when you charge $550 for something, you should try to make sure that you've dotted all your I's and crossed your T's. The only thing is, Walt, that I thought was intriguing about the two screens is that two screens are better for productivity on the desktop. And so if there was some way to utilize that in a tablet, that's actually kind of an interesting idea. No?
Well, yeah, you could use it like a little, you're right, you could use it as a clamshell shape, and it is an interesting idea. And when you are, for instance, typing an email, the virtual keyboard is on this bottom screen, and the thing you're writing is up here. So you could use it like a tiny little laptop, I suppose, Julia. But you could also put any of these other tablets on a stand and have it upright on your desk.
Right.
And a lot of them, these stands and cases come with keyboards. And for instance, Asus has a thing called the Transformer Prime. I gave a good review to that has a keyboard accessory that also has a battery that charges it. So there's other solutions. But you're right, that might be a redeeming quality for some folks on this.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
nice-
we are
nice-
grasping for the redeeming
Well,
qualities.
there we had it. We have the redeeming quality there from the big W himself, Walt Mossberg. Thank you very much, and I urge everyone to go check out Walt's column in today's Wall Street Journal. Thank you very much, Walt Mossberg.